He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Franklin County, Missouri. No, check that. Arkansas. My bad. Arkansas. Where I only have the headline because they wanted to make me pay for the article, so I'm not paying for it. So I'll just read the headline. Franklin County man gets probation after shooting himself in the leg and stepson in the foot.
When you've created two problems in one.
Yes. Two big ol' giant problems. There was another story I saw from Bihar News, NDTV. This is also just going to be headline because, well, it's sad face, but a man accidentally shot himself. Guess what he was doing, Jeff?
Cleaning one's gun.
Not just that, a country-made pistol, I guess, whatever that is. A country-made pistol.
Maybe like a Khyber Pass or something.
I'm guessing this is like an AI translation, and it translated to country-made pistol. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Very weird.
Yeah. I don't know if that means it was made in another country or if it was made, out in the country, as in the rurals. Anyway, nice to talk to you again, Jeff. It's been a hot minute. You've been in Turkey. We haven't recorded a podcast in like 2 or 3 weeks. Yep.
Because I left Monday the 8th, and then I got back the 18th. So
almost 2 weeks.
It has been some time.
It's been a hot minute. How was Turkey?
Oh, it was fantastic. I had a blast. I tried to drink the country dry. I felt like I got close. But I've learned that I'm not as good at setting up travel as I thought I was. So that will be something I have to correct. I made one of my connections by 30 seconds.
Oh, I had that happen one time. Like they were about to close the door.
Yeah, they closed the door behind me. Nice
to see you, ka-chunk.
Yeah, it was essentially that because we landed. We taxied for like 15 minutes. I had an hour and a half layover, but we were 15 minutes late. Then we taxied for 15 minutes. Then they took me to passport control when I was in Amsterdam, even though I was going to the United States. Still don't understand what happened there. Stood there for a few minutes until another guy started freaking out, and then I also joined him and was like, what the fuck? Why are we going through passport control? And they're like, you guys are transferring. You're supposed to be upstairs. And we're like, when did you say that? You never said that.
Yeah.
So then I power walked to my gate because I don't run. And I got there as the 8 gate agents were standing around, and I yelled out can I still get on the plane? And they asked me my name, and then they're like, oh yeah, you're good. And so they took my ticket, and it wasn't working, so they're printing off a new one, and I was all flustered or whatever. Finally, we get it solved. I take my first step onto the jet bridge, and I hear a woman yell the same thing. She's like, and they're like, sorry, the boarding's done. It's like I was the last person on the plane.
Oh, well, I didn't cut it that close, but I was traveling with a gal I worked with for a work thing. This is 15 years ago. And we had our connection in Dallas between Orlando and Sioux Falls. And we're in Dallas, and the layover was tight. It was under an hour, whatever it was. And the part of the Dallas airport where planes arrive from big cities is far, far away from the planes that go to small cities. And so I think we had to hop on a train, their giant underground train network or whatever they have there. And we end up getting there, and then she wanted to go smoke. And I'm like, we're going to miss the flight. I'm not waiting for you. I'm going to the plane. And she's like, oh, fine. And, thinking she'd have time. Well, that happened to her in Chicago, and she had to go through security again. So I'm like, did you learn nothing? And when we're in the terminal, and we hear over the loudspeaker, Andrew Erickson and Melissa, your flight is leaving. They actually paged us. And I didn't know they would do that, but they did that. And so it was, and then at that moment we kind of look at each other and start running because we were still a hot minute away. And we walk up, and we cut it close. Anyway, Well, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you made it safely. Glad you have fun. Patreon.com/Not Another Shooting Show. It's only $3.57 a month. You'll get all of the second episode this week. Instead of just a little sliver of it. Our Reddit is up to, last time I saw, 369, Jeff.
Yeah, nice.
r/NASS on Reddit. MW Activewear. You can still buy those Area 3 jerseys. She's got if you go find the matchbook, even if you're not going to the match, the jerseys are really cool. I saw a guy at the club match here yesterday that had the Sun hoodie. He had ordered that, like, separately from the initial order. So, yeah, they're pretty dope. And she can make really dope jerseys for your match as well. Area 3 registration is open, and unlike most majors, we're leaving registration open until the day before the match.
Really?
Because it's not, regular scoring is not that complicated, really. It's really not. Plus, shooting doesn't start until afternoon on Thursday. So, there's time to suck in everybody in the morning, get the tablets all squared away. It's not going to be a big deal. So registration is going to stay open through Wednesday, or through today if you're listening to this, September 24th. But yeah, it's getting real, man. I'm in Rapid City right now, actually. I'm in Bruce's basement. Bruce, I think he just got home. He was still at the range. I had to leave to go get food and some groceries and record a podcast with Jeff and get all my crap set up down here. Yeah, I'm in Rapid City right now. I got here on Friday night. We're recording Sunday night. So I've been here for a couple days already. I got to start with the range because Craig Okenfoos had called me after he was out here visiting, or not visiting. He's here for work. He was in Rapid City. And he said, hey, I'm going to be there. Can is there any way I can see the range? I'm like, oh, I'm sure Bruce will be out there. Like, I'll give you his number. And so Bruce met him out there and gave him a tour. And Craig calls me afterwards and he's like, dude, you fucking undersold this place. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's so fucking big. There's no way to describe the largesse of it until you see it in person. It's unbelievable. It sits on like 400 acres. It's gigantic. I don't know how else to explain it. And even when you get to the first entrance, you still have another mile to go. That was another thing Craig said. The south end isn't open yet. They're still doing construction there. That's the first entrance you arrive at. Where Area 3 is at the second entrance on the north range. That's a mile from the other one.
Jesus.
So even when you're there, you're not there yet. You still got a mile to go.
It sounds like you're getting to the point where the size of the facility becomes its own logistical hurdle.
It is. It really is. It's the only negative of this place is the massive size. It's so big. Are you
saying bigger isn't always better?
Bigger's not always better. That's what she said. It was the first two bays for their club match yesterday were used as parking. And there was 70 plus people in the club match.
Jesus, that's a giant club match.
It was for a market the size of Rapid City. Hell yeah. I think there's like 60,000 people that live here. I mean, in Rapid City itself, there's a number of towns right around it too. And the rest of the Black Hills area. But, like, we've never had 70-some shooters at a match in Sioux Falls, to my knowledge, ever.
Right.
I don't think they even could. They only have 5 bays at the Sioux Falls Club. My club could handle... I mean, we've had more than that for a section match before, obviously, but never for a club match, with just locals. It was wild. Now, having said that, and when Bruce gets down here at some point, either in this episode or the next episode, whenever he's done eating and chatting with his wife, he'll come join us to talk on the podcast, but... I don't know if it'll be this episode or the next one. We'll find out. But the overarching theme of that match, though, was lots of new people. Like, lots. Lots and lots and lots and lots.
Like an uncomfortable amount of new people?
The thing was, there were a shitload of new people on my squad, but they were all very safe.
That's good.
They were, and the guys that were the most unsure of themselves just went really slow, like just the way you would want new shooters to do it.
And for anyone who's listening who doesn't really kind of understand the context of that, I wasn't trying to shit on new people. It's just that new people add complication and they don't really know what's going on. And so a lot of them in one space can get very butt clenching very quickly.
Yeah.
Especially depending on their humbleness and how they take correction.
Yeah. And the only time I correct people is when they are an eyelash away from, and I don't want to say correct people, but let them know what they did. When they're an eyelash away from something I would have to DQ them for. Like there was a dude who just, actually this was at my club match. We had some new guys last Thursday. The guy just did what lots of people do when they move with a pistol. They point it down. Well, he damn near swept his feet going around a wall. And so it was just a little thing. And whenever I do that, I'm always like, hey man, I got a little suggestion for you, and I just set it up that way. And he was very receptive of it and understood. And like, it's just, just keep it pointed straight ahead. That's all you got to do. Just point it straight ahead. But yeah, lots of new shooters. I didn't hear of any trouble on the other squads other than one of the squads every other squad was done for like an hour and a half before they got done because they ended up, something got screwed up with the tablet when they were shooting this one double bay. And oh man, it was not good. They got done shooting like an hour or more after everybody else was done. It was crazy. I think they had 6 squads. Yeah, that sounds about right. 6 by 12, that would be 72. Is that math right?
Yes.
Okay. It was somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah, it was wild. A guy on my squad, his ammo, factory ammo, would not feed in his gun. It was 40 ammo. It was a screwed with Glock, but you could look at these. It looked like all of his ammo was not crimped, maybe at all, and the bullets were seated too deep, is what it looked like to me for 40 ammo. And
interesting problem.
They would not feed. Like it was a single shot. It was like bang, bang,
That's when you just go home.
Yeah, he did. The problem was he was an experienced guy who had he knew how to run the tablet. And so we lost a guy that could actually help us, because the rest of the guys were all so new. I mean, there was like 6 of us that on the squad that were experienced at all. Not even that. I think 5. Plus Bruce was on my squad and he was running around all over the place. So it was kind of like a staff day at a major. Where the match director is like running around, like he was barely on our squad. There was one time where I saw him and I'm like, you need to get over here because one of our experienced guys had to leave. So, when he said he wanted to do a club match, to like christen the thing, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I had no idea what a great idea it was because it's like when you move into, if you've been a club for like, they've been a club since the 90s. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And Bruce has been shooting with them since about then. Like he's been shooting a long time. It's like they started over. It really is. It's a new facility. It's mostly new equipment. A lot of the equipment they had for Area 3 was stuff that they were setting up, but some of it wasn't pre-set up. There were activators on 3 stages, and I think they shit-canned all but one of the stages with activators. They just left the paper, exposed on the other activators and just said, nope, we're not going to screw with this. Setup we got started shooting about an hour late, and it was the bugs of being in a new place, the bugs of having a lot of new people, the bugs of just all the bugs of an old club in a new place with a lot of new stuff. Yeah. So, but all of that got ironed out. Like they learned so much. Like I guess I was part of it too, learned a lot just how this is going to run for Area 3, And the other thing too is we were building the stages morning of. They drug all the stuff out the day before, and then we were all building them the day of. And it was a big club match. It was like 8 stages. So it was almost like a damn near section match in terms of number of stages, but
yeah,
it was it was an experience, but all the quirks have been kind of figured out and ironed out now, and we've spent the last 2 days, we got done with the match, then we started just hauling stuff to bays to start building today. And so I think we've got probably not quite half of the stages roughed in. Not all of them are all nailed down, but they're like mostly set up, a number of them are totally set up and nailed down. They just need, paper targets, and that's pretty much it.
Nice.
So yeah, the wall. Did you see the walls? The color scheme.
I like the blue and yellow.
The blue and yellow looks fantastic. Yeah, the fall lines are blue. They did 2x3 fall lines, like Free State does, like they do down in Kansas City at Mill Creek. And I'm a fan of those as a shooter. As a guy who sets up stages, I'm not, because they're heavy. They're a lot heavier than 2x2s. I can haul a shitload of 2x2s. You haul that many 2x3s, it's like, this got heavy.
Yeah, catches up with you.
Yeah. So, and then we shot a match, and my streak of doing dumb shit continues, Jeff.
Jesus, do we like hit you, like rattle that head around a little bit?
Well, one of them is something people already know because I posted the video on Instagram at the club match at my club last Thursday. You saw that video?
Yep.
I assume. It was going to be dark quick, and we did have like 31 shooters in the match. Well, we had 31 sign up. We had like 4 not show up. So we had the stages set up, or I had picked stages. I didn't even design all the stages. Like, I pulled 3 of the stages from that Instagram account that has a lot of really good stages. I can't think of what the name of it is. I'm sorry. It's like USPSA and IPSC stage design or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay.
Some really cool, like not short courses, but technically medium courses. Like 2 stages were under 20 rounds. And then we had like a 22 round stage and then a 32 round burner. And it was sort of inspired by the stage that Jeff and I have talked about before, where it's like a 14 hit factor or whatever. Well, your pal Andy did not shoot even a 10 hit factor on this stage, because it turns out when you have a 32 round burner stage, you still have to reload the gun. And I was having so much fun going fast, I forgot to reload. I was literally shooting and going, this is so fun. I wonder what my hit factor will be. That was literally in my head while I was shooting. I'm having so much fun. And it was the last array I shot, there were 4 targets, and it went boom, 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 boom. And, and then I'm leaving. So then I had to come back, and it's just fuck. And the bad thing about the tac sport is that if there are no rounds in the magazine, it does not like to fall out very freely. So I stripped the magazine. I had pulled the mag off my belt, and the other mag still hadn't fallen out of the gun. So then I had to strip it, and then I put it in, and then I realized I still hadn't. That's the other one. Never mind. And get it going, and then I finish, and it was still fast, even with a 4-second reload that should have been like a second and a half or 2 seconds by the time I shot the next target. But then this is even better, Jeff. This is a better one at the club match here in Rapid City yesterday. Oh, God. So this stage was just a thrown in super speed shoot next to a classifier.
Okay.
1 target, 1 paper target, 5 rounds. Paper target's at like 7 yards. And then there's 2 mini poppers out there at like 30. No, it was like somebody did walk it off. It was like 25. They were a poke.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, Katie bar the door. Let's go on this paper target. So I draw to the paper, and it goes boom. And then I go to look at my gun for the malfunction. You know what the malfunction was?
What's that?
There was no magazine.
Been there.
I did the Barney. Didn't put it in the other mag. Not sure why I did a Barney on a... Now, the 2 poppers, like by the time I reloaded my gun with a 5-second reload on this one, because after I got the mag into the gun, then I aimed at to shoot the paper for the other 4 rounds, and nothing happened. You know why? Didn't rack the slide. Didn't chamber around. So then after I realized I hadn't chambered around, I chamber around and then I shoot 4. And then I think I shot 3 before on the 4th one, I hit the right mini popper. And then the last mini popper, I think I hit on the first shot. So my streak of doing a dumb thing in a match continues. So Area 3 is going to be awesome. I just know, I mean, I'm the co-match director, so that automatically means you're going to do dumb shit. But I actually think it won't be so bad. I don't feel like I'm because it's not my club, it's not my stuff, it's not my range, Like, I felt like I was kind of more in charge up until now, and now it's really Bruce's baby. I mean, we're still like working on the stages together, like ironing things out, but it's, he's pretty much running the show at this point. Yeah.
So it's all his fault. It's all his fault. It's all his fault.
Well,
what?
So you shot some pistol.
I did. And it was a disaster. So I took 2 weeks off to go to Turkey, which was fantastic. One of the best trips I've ever been on. But you can't play with guns in Turkey.
Oh no!
Nice gentlemen walking around with MP5 clones, which I wanted. I hope that they were unloaded because their gun handling was very cringy.
Yeah,
lots of fingers on triggers. Lots of like.
I mean, were they at least Turkish made guns?
They're MP5s, so they're H&K designs, but I think Zenith might be Turkish. So I don't know, because the Turkish lira is not doing well against the dollar. Well, okay, I'm going to leave the jokes I just made. Anyways, so it's cheaper to make things there, and so I think they just get copies and make shit.
Oh, okay.
But so I flew home Thursday. And then Friday, one of my coaches and one of my students had a fight at an arena near us, and that didn't get over till 11:30. And then we went to the bar to celebrate, and sleep was not had. So there was no practice in any way, shape, or form. I didn't even handle the guns. Like I think I picked up my gun and like dry fired it a couple times to be like, ooh, gun. But no practice was to be had. So I shot Steel Challenge, which for anyone who does not know what Steel Challenge requires, it's 8 stages. Most of the stages are 5 strings. You start from a surrender draw every time, shoot 4 plates, and then there is a 5th stop plate somewhere in the array, and you do this 5 times.
Unless you're shooting rimfire, or PCC, then you aim at a cone in front.
Yeah, then it's low
ready.
For PCC and rimfires, it is low ready. So, I showed up and attempted to shoot, and let's just say the dot in my hands, in my draw, and my trigger control, and my patience, and my shooting, they just weren't there that day. Mm-hmm. Just none of it. This
is the day after you did not sleep and celebrated after a fight?
After a fight, after I flew 19 and a half hours, after being up for like 3 days trying to drink turkey dry. So I was in high form, absolutely high form. One of the most frustrating days of shooting that I've had in a very long time. I considered quitting multiple times. It was that bad. The nice thing about Steel Challenge is it's quick. You can do all 8 stages in 4 hours if you're at a Todd Weitzel run show. Mm-hmm. He has it down to clockwork. Our club is fantastic. If you want to shoot the best Steel Challenge.
Oh, yeah. It was Cornhusker Steel Challenge this weekend, right?
Yep. Yeah. It was Cornhusker Steel Challenge. So if you want to come shoot the best major in America, you come to a Todd Weitzel Steel Challenge.
Is it still a level 1?
I think they level 2'd it this year just because they got complaints from people that it was a level 1, even though as Steel Challenge, it doesn't matter. Like your times, it's always shooting a classifier. You're always shooting a classifier, and it only takes your highest score. So you you could do it at a 3-stage local and get your highest peak score that they're going to base your classification off of.
And someone did, I can't remember who, someone told me that there was there is one reason why it matters. I think it's national slots.
Okay. I guess I could kind of see that. But
Yeah.
But again, anyways, it ran very well. I shot like absolute garbage, and most people were like, "Oh, a good tune-up match to get yourself ready." This was the exact opposite. This was the D1 college football team losing to Appalachia State or something like that. So I'm going.
Hey,
into
one of the
Area
South
3.
Dakota schools did that to Minnesota.
Nice.
I think it was SDSU. South Dakota State beat Minnesota in football one year.
That's awesome.
Not that Minnesota's a powerhouse or anything, but
they're D1.
But they're still D1 Bowl series, and South Dakota State is D1.
Not.
They're this was just a few years before they won a national championship in the FCS. So
nice.
they have a good program, but they're still not in the bowl series. But
yeah. So yeah, I'm going into Area 3 just super fucking confident. So then we had a few issues pop up that I found fascinating.
Okay.
One of our buddies from Iowa was shooting multiple divisions. So in Steel Challenge, you can shoot, I think, at least
2 or
normal,
3 guns in that one, right?
I've normally
or
seen
per
it
session.
2 gun. Yeah, per flight is what they call it. You can shoot 2 guns. So one guy, he had already shot 1 flight, so he already had 2 guns scored. And then on his second flight, he DQ'd with one of the guns. He was having trouble getting the mag in, and he smashed the fuck out of it, and it went off. Whether that, failure of something in the gun or whether his fingers in the trigger, I don't know. I wasn't there. But he gets DQ'd. But he was shooting another 2 guns, and then he had another 2 guns he was going to shoot. So once he got DQ'd, that invalidated the guns he had yet to shoot. So he couldn't shoot those, but the scores he had already submitted stayed in there. So
Okay, so let me wrap my hand around this, because I've never heard of this before. So any gun that he has shot and finished, those scores all stay. Only the gun that he DQ'd with, those scores get deleted?
Yes. The
other gun he was also shooting just becomes a DNF on the rest of the stages?
I think. I don't know. It's a very, very weird process. And then the other guns, because he's DQ'd, he cannot continue to shoot, so he cannot shoot the other guns. And I find this rule to be silly to a degree.
I don't know. If you DQ from a match that allows you to shoot more than one division, that does seem appropriate to me. And the fact that only the gun that he DQ'd with is those scores are just gone.
Right.
But it's good that the flight he shot previously is still intact.
Right. But if each flight is essentially its own bubble, I feel there's a part of me that's like, okay, you DQ'd from this one, but come back after lunch and use the other guns. And again, part of this is a bias because the person that I'm specifically thinking about is a very experienced competitor, very nice guy, no issues. If he was some newbie who was a jerk after he got DQ'd, then I would have a much different frame of reference. Someone got a coaching penalty and who knows better, and when confronted by it, his argument was, well, that's what we do at our matches. And it got to the point where he called the range master, who was Thomas Howard.
Who's Mr. Letter of the Law.
Right. And thought that was going to work out for him. It did not, and he got the first coaching penalty that any of us know about anyone ever getting. Because normally it's a hey, don't do that again. Like
Right.
it's a oops, you made a mistake.
You called for the range master over a coaching call.
Yes.
Like, had he gotten the penalty already?
No.
It was after they called Thomas.
Yes, it was
nice.
Given to, yes, yes, it was his arguing with the staff that got him the penalty.
Like the grace of not giving you this is gone now.
Right, it's a classic. Don't argue with the cop; he might give you a warning. and the cop, when the cop's like, "I'm giving you the warning," you're like, "No, fuck you, motherfucker! I didn't do shit."
You shouldn't have pulled me over in the first place.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well, I guess you're getting the ticket. So that made it kind of funny. But,
oh God, that's awesome.
But so I don't know. I am of multiple minds because I know like in multi-gun, not to shit on the multi-gunners more than normal, but fuck you guys. They'll do like stage DQs.
That is a thing, but I've never seen one. I haven't shot that much multi-gun. I shot a fair bit of it, but it's usually very specific things where something like I can't remember what the scenarios were, but and like even in PCSL, someone will message us and correct me on this, but I want to say in PCSL, I can't remember. I think there's like only one type of, or maybe there isn't a stage DQ at all in PCSL. I can't remember. It's not a thing in USPSA in any of the rules, multi-gun or handgun.
Right, but multi-gun has 7 different rule sets in every stage, so you're never quite sure. But this was just one of those ones within Steel Challenge that made me kind of question the system a little bit because it does suck that one little mess up invalidates the entire rest of the weekend.
Okay. So this is AI on Google saying a stage DQ could happen with leaving a grounded firearm, meaning put on the ground, not dumped in a receptacle. Leaving a grounded firearms vicinity or failing to adhere to a stage-specific rule as outlined in the PCSL General Rulebook. And a stage DQ is just no score for that stage. Basically, you zero the stage. So, like, a gun untouched can't, like, shoot anybody, but, like, you went too far away from it.
Sig has entered the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit, I wish I had my notepad. We'd have an intro for this episode, but I don't have my notepad with me. Okay. So anything else from the Steel Challenge and you shooting?
So that there was a weird rule, another weird rule thing that I want changed. And I may or may not be talking to an area director. So there's a stupid rule that is only applied if the match director chooses to apply it.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh, and it's going to be dumber than you think it is.
Okay.
So
I'm ready for it.
The rule is that you can't shoot the same gun in 2 divisions in the same flight. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, you can't shoot open twice in the same flight.
No. Okay. What that rule is saying is I can't take my Shadow 2, shoot it in open, and then shoot it in carry optics in the same flight. So I'm using the same gun for 2 different categories in the same flight. Now, I could shoot open, limited optics, carry optics with my Shadow 2 in 3 separate flights. That's no problem. But I can't shoot it the same gun in 2 different divisions in the same flight.
Yeah, that seems strange.
Right. That rule is not always applied.
That's the strange. If it's the rule and it's the rule, then like the fact that you prefaced that by saying it's not always the rule, that is weird.
It's match director discretion. So us being a club that calls mics, just so that y'all know.
Do you happen to know what rule this is?
8.4.3.
Oh, you have it in the rundown. Maybe I should look to that before I ask the question. Jesus.
Oh, well, because, okay.
Look at you being prepared. Shit.
Right. Well, because I was in squad with some tryhards. And, okay, that's a whole other topic. There are school steel challenge teams. They tend to be private Christian colleges from the South that are like homeschool based or whatever. But so I was with them, and one of their guys was trying to shoot the same gun in two different divisions. Basically, what I just described, and because he didn't read the match book, read your match books. And so he had to run back to his hotel to get his other gun because he didn't bring it with him because reasons. And so I was like, yeah, he was trying to cheat. What the fuck? Why was he trying to cheat? And they're like, no, that's not cheating. Like this is actually one of the few matches that enforces this. And I'm like, wait, this isn't just the rule? Like we've always done this. So for me, I'm learning that it's not an always applicable rule.
Okay, 8.4.3, at level 2 or higher matches, competitors are prohibited from shooting back-to-back. At least one other competitor must shoot the course of fire between the first and any subsequent... Okay, well, that has nothing to do with a gun.
Oh, well...
Oh, maybe it's 8.4.2. Any specific shooting sequence for competitors shooting multiple firearms will be determined by the match director, and each competitor will be made aware of these requirements in advance of the starting of the match. That's awfully fucking vague.
Yeah.
That is very... So what if you have two Shadow 2s and you shoot one in open and shoot one in CO?
Right.
It's not the same gun.
Right. Well, and
Look, this one has red grips. This one has blue grips.
Right. And you can shoot production with an iron sight Shadow 2 and carry optics with a carry optics Shadow 2, but you can't use the same gun twice.
That is stupid.
Right.
Because any handgun can be shot in open. So you could, at minimum, you could shoot the division it actually fits in and open.
Right.
And probably now limited optics.
Yep.
So you could conceivably shoot the same pistol in 3 divisions or
more. I mean...
I'm trying to think of another way around that. Like, well, yeah, you could probably shoot it in L10. Is there L10 in?
No, they haven't.
No,
they haven't
there's
done
no
enough
L10
for that one. But if you brought because I forget, I may have been told that their optics rules don't require that the optic works, and so people can use their irons in an optic division. But like a production gun, because for some reason they still have production, can be production limited. Open, like
sure, it could be at least 3,
right? And so you're.
I mean,
basically,
I'm not. I really like Steel Challenge. It's a lot of fun. I really like shooting rimfire in it. I made master shooting a Ruger Mark IV Light.
Yep,
with no modifications. The only modification I've made to it since is the comp I got at Cornhusker last year.
Nice.
And it actually does. I was surprised how much it actually helped. Like, it's not exactly a kicky gun, but the fact that it's the light version of that gun, it actually has more recoil than I think it's called the tactical, the all steel one. Like that thing doesn't freaking move when you shoot it, because it's so heavy. But even just pressing the trigger, it's easier for that light to wiggle on you a little bit, and that comp really. It helped quite a bit after I screwed that thing on it. But yeah, that's a strange rule that the match director can just decide, no, you can't shoot the same gun in more than one division at a time. And the fact that you can shoot it, the fact that it's only concurrently, it sounds like they can just, whatever they want to do as far as shooting order shit goes.
Right.
I would actually, I actually would have arbitrated this if it were me. Because it's made in advance, okay. But if I can shoot my Shadow 2 with a dot on it in the first flight...
Correct.
...in a division, but I can't in the other division I'm shooting in that flight, but I can shoot it in another division in the second flight...
Correct.
That's stupid.
But the problem is that you use the your open score as a burner so that you get your warm up for your main. That's why it's cheating.
Oh,
at least for me. So
okay. I didn't think of that. Okay, now I kind of think that's okay.
right. Okay, so
I kind of take back everything I just said.
Yes. So yes, I 100% believe that it's cheating because you get that little warm up. Like,
yeah,
because for anyone who's like, well, derp, okay, remove this conversation. Let me shoot Seal Challenge, but I get 5 warm up runs before my 5 runs account. Are you cool with that? If you are, then if you aren't, then you got to fix this rule. So. Again, it's weird that the match director gets to decide this. Like, why is this not just the standard rule?
Yeah, no, I feel like such an idiot because I just said all this stuff and everything I said sounded logical until you pointed that out, and then I'm like, yeah, that's 100% a good reason why.
You took in new information.
Yep, I took on new information and I changed my opinion 100%.
That is all that happened.
That's called being an adult. Speaking of practicing for a stage, I kind of got to practice for a stage yesterday.
Oh, did you now?
Well, in the form of a reshoot. And this is
slightly cheating.
No, I didn't do anything to cause any of this. So it was the big, huge 24 classifier, 2408, I think it is.
Okay.
And I shot it, and it went pretty good, I thought. It was fast. I shot a slightly different order than I had shot before, and I thought it went pretty good. And I get to the end, and I hear, and Bruce was actually running me, and he was kind of being weird. If you're finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Like, he's not paying attention, even though he's saying the words.
Yep.
He was looking at the timer, and he's like, I did not pick up the shots in the middle. Because after I moved forward, because I shot the one that's straight back and then the 2 on the left.
Okay.
And then I reload and haul ass and get up to where there's only the 4 of the 5 on the left.
Okay.
And then hose those, and then the 3 in the back middle, and then the last 2.
Okay.
And he got a little too far away from me in the middle there. Okay. And he actually looked down at the timer and was like, uh-oh, this time's not right. And then he was trying to catch up to me, and then when he looked at it when it was done, it was like 10 and change, and he said the time, and I'm like, holy shit. That's way faster than I've ever shot that before. But his voice had this inflection like something's wrong. He's like, I didn't pick up all your shots. I didn't pick up your last shot.
Okay.
And I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It wasn't picking up stuff in the middle. And the thing that I said, we'll go through the splits, because the last target I shot was close, and it was not a slow split on the last 2 targets, and the last split on the timer was a 30. And this split was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 15, 16. And, yeah. And when he pointed that out, I'm like, okay, yeah, you didn't get my last shot. That's for sure. So then I did the reshoot, and then I plugged a no-shoot.
The reshoot gods are rarely kind.
Uh-huh. And at least I saw it and made it up, so I only had the 10 points down. But, yeah. Ended up going for... they didn't even score it because he didn't know, like, we didn't have an accurate time, so didn't score it. And then, yeah, that was a bummer, but it happens. Ends up being like a B-class score or whatever, but that's the first time I actually shot 2... I didn't have any mics yesterday, but I had 2 no-shoots. And I haven't shot a no-shoot in a damn long time. And I had 2 of them yesterday. And they were both on... One was on a really hard target. It was at like... Fuck. It was kind of like the long one at Free State. Oh, wait, you weren't there last year. Like minimum no-shoot on an IPSC. Or, pardon me, minimum, like 25% A-zone, like the minimum you can have exposed.
Okay.
with a no shoot over the top of it, and then a full IPSC under it. And I had, I think it was, I plugged the no shoot like I jerked the gun down on one of them, and I could see it from all the way in the back. Like it was like, whoa, okay, I definitely have one. And then the second shot, I could see there's like shit on the white again, but it's up towards the top of the no shoot. And then I fired 2 more rounds. So it turns out like the top one, it just barely caught the top of the no shoot, but did not break the perf. So I had that alpha, and then I think it was alpha delta, because then I got scared and I sent one over the top, and yeah. But so I just had the no shoot penalty on that target, but no, it was a whole thing. But anyway, the one other thing I wanted to mention about Area 3, because I just saw it, I was scrolling through Facebook here, and it popped up on the Prairie Thunder page. That's the name of the club here in Rapid City. The safe areas and the shitters are a reality. There's literally a zone on the floor that says safety area with the arrows, just like the rule book says. Instead of a table, it's a bench.
Oh, nice.
So, and as soon as I saw it, I took a picture of it and I sent it to Heidi, and she replied, "Hell yeah!" So, this is only in the vault toilets, and there's only 2 of those on the range itself. There's a third one up top where you first come into the facility, but there's no marked safety area there. But I only know that because I took a dump in that one today. But the vault toilet, Jeff, have you ever experienced a vault toilet before?
I don't believe so.
Well, let me tell you about a vault toilet. It's the closest thing I think we have in America to riding a train in India where you poop through a hole in the train. Is that still a thing? I remember hearing that one time.
Yep.
It's kind of like that. It's a hole in the ground, and it's a concrete structure. You'll see these in like national parks in the West mostly. They're probably in the East as well. There's not a lot around where I live, but once you get to western South Dakota and then in other places all over the West of the country, they're a very prominent thing in national parks and stuff like that. So it's a hole in the ground, concrete structure. There's this plastic tube that sits up with a toilet seat on top. And if it's a men's room, then there's like a urinal in the corner in addition. So, and then it's just a shit pit underneath. And there's a ventilation pipe to help funnel, if you close the toilet, all the stink goes out the pipe, and then it doesn't stink up the inside of the room so bad. Now, these are brand new. So these are basically virgin vault toilets. They've barely been shat in, so they don't stink so bad. I have been in some in the Custer National Forest up in Harding County, South Dakota, where they don't smell so good. And there's flies everywhere, and it's awful. But, basically I shit in the woods instead of there. For the most part. So, nice little breeze on the bottom today when I was sitting in there. It was nice and cool underneath. I don't know why there was such a cool breeze coming out through there. There are
questioning your whole life.
Maybe it's hooked up to a cave. There's several caves you could visit when you're in the Black Hills coming out for Area 3.
Get shit on by Andy.
Yeah, maybe it's like Goonies. You've seen Goonies, haven't you?
There's a pirate ship in the shit.
Not in the shit. No, you're conflating 2 scenes. But there's a bunch of pipes underground that they start messing with, and then like their nemesis ends up getting launched into the ceiling while he's sitting on the shitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great movie. Goonies is so good.
Haven't seen that in years.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I watched that so many times I almost have it memorized. But no. So there's no. I've heard from a number. Heidi mentioned she's coming out early. She's going to do some hiking out here. Was asking me about trails to go hike. That would be cool. And There's so much to do out here. And Rapid City was okay. When I lived out here, Rapid City was a shithole. It's so much nicer than it used to be when I lived here. And that was like 20 years ago, over 20 years ago when I lived here. It has changed a lot since I lived here, and it's much nicer than it was when I lived here. So downtown's pretty cool. There's so many bars and restaurants that are great downtown now. And if you're staying at one of the hotels that's like at the exit to go to the range, it's exit 61. It's, there's a indoor water park right there and a bunch of other stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, there's plenty to do in addition to it. A guy from my club back home, he's coming. He signed up very late for it, but him and his wife, he's coming out and he's shooting Friday, Saturday, and then they're gonna, they're making a long weekend out of it. So pretty cool. When are you coming out here?
I leave Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. Oh, so you'll get here
Thursday
probably
afternoon.
What is it, like 8 hours for you?
7, I want to say. Let me see. Rapids.
What even route do you take?
I want to say that
Go through Nebraska mostly, I would imagine.
No, the faster route for me was through. Let's see.
Sioux Falls, like all interstate.
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost 30 minutes faster.
It's probably longer, but yeah, it's because it's 80 all the way through South Dakota.
Yeah, so it's 15 minutes or 20 miles longer, but it's 30 minutes shorter because speed.
Yeah.
Because
there's an Omaha Street in Rapid City, so it thinks I'm asking for Omaha Street now as I'm looking at it.
Because the from Omaha version either takes me to O'Neill, and that's the 8 hours and 5 minutes, or it's 7 hours and 41 minutes from if I go through Sioux Falls. I don't know.
I'll be damned. Yeah, the fastest route is just all the way up, just 29 to 90.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll take the shorter drive every time.
Yeah.
That drive across Nebraska, especially through the middle of Nebraska, can suck a dick. Dude, I've driven from North Platte to Alliance, and I didn't get slower than 100 miles an hour because there's nothing there.
No, there isn't. That's the thing, like, I mean, there isn't a whole lot in western South Dakota either. Honestly, eastern South Dakota is more boring than western South Dakota.
Right, I've never driven through it, so it's going to be kind of new to me. So at least it might
there's
have
a great
something.
One of my favorite views driving across the state, and it always kind of strikes me every time, is when you're coming over that hill at Chamberlain to cross the Missouri River, and it's this big long dip to go down, and you see the other side of the river before you see the river, and it's just so vast and wide, and it's just a great, fantastic view. There's a rest area there with this big dignity statue that you see on some license plates in South Dakota. The Badlands, you won't really drive through the Badlands if you stay on the interstate, but you'll see them, kinda. Not the best parts of them, but you'll see them from the interstate if you're in the daylight.
Yep.
One thing that was really cool, I just noticed yesterday, was not from the entire range, but from the area where you come into the north end of the range and where all their props and stuff, their storage Connex boxes are. There's this land feature called Bear Butte, just north of Sturgis, and you can see it from the range. Like, it's a straight shot just straight north from there, and it's a really big butte that people will do climbing on. It's also a sacred Native American site, but I was just like, whoa, you can see Bear Butte from here. That's cool. But yeah, it's I live in a pretty cool state. A lot of people would never want to live here, and I'm glad they don't, because I don't want it getting crowded here. We have all the people we need. I guess my city is growing by like something like 7,800 people a year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a town of, hell, when I moved there, it was only like 130,000, and now it's like well over 200,000. So I don't know if that math tracks, but it's a lot bigger than it used to be. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Because we've gone long enough for this episode, haven't we? I think so. Yeah.
And I need to get Bruce down here because we need to talk to him in the next episode. So we'll make sure, because I got a microphone ready for him. Anyway, he is Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson, and this is Not Another Shooting Show.